I've never played the Saints Row 2 DLC Corporate Warfare. This is intended to be a follow-up on my previous video about Auto Exposed, but if you haven't watched it, don't worry, it's not necessary. So today I thought I'd dip my toes into what is possibly Saints Row's most controversial DLC pack. The rumours, the comments and the opinions I've heard about this DLC pack are absolutely wild, and I'm really curious to see if it lives up to the legacy of the game it's building upon. So let's not waste any time and get straight into it. So, our story starts with a new character called Griffon coming to the Saints and saying he needs help. Ultor is apparently after him and he's asking the Saints for some protection. The Saints obviously want something in return, and Griffon offers information about Dex. Now, if you don't know why Dex is important, I'll give you a brief rundown. Dex was a main character who was a Saint in Saints Row 1. After the end of Saints Row 1, the boss blows up and we awake in a coma in Saints Row 2. We go to the police station, we hear Dex knew Troy was a cop, yet did nothing to warn anyone as he got offered a job at Ultor. Later on in the game, we try to meet with Dex, and he traps us and Julius in a building whilst Masako agents try to take us out. Hence, he betrayed the Saints, and we want him dead. So, we decide to help Griffon and protect him from Ultor, which leads us to our first mission. This mission starts out as an on-rails turret section, which is pretty fun, as they usually are. We're just protecting a limo from some Ultor agents, pretty basic stuff, but still fun. A few minutes of this happens, then our helicopter goes down as it's hit by an Ultor attack chopper. We get up from the wreckage and try to rescue Griffon. We get in a car and drive into the safety of the Saints HQ. Griffon then meets with Dex, they have a little argument and go their separate ways. This completes the first mission and sets us off with a decent plot and some fun gameplay, so realistically, no complaints so far. So, mission 2 starts with us talking to Griffon again. He explains that Dex has been gathering nuclear waste from the nuke plant and selling it on the black market, and that he intends to cover this up, due to the consequences of what would happen if Ultor discovered what he was doing. We decide to go and gather this evidence from the plant so we can expose Dex for good. This puts us into mission 2 where we fight alongside some Ultor guards to collect some of the waste and thin out the Masako agent herd. We take a truck, we fill it up with toxic waste while protecting the truck from the agents. We do this twice, then we have to protect the trucks using an attack helicopter as they're delivered back to the docks. Sounds fun, right? A lot of enemies to kill, a fun helicopter to use. What could go wrong? Well, everything can. This mission is somehow even worse than the mission I played in the last pack. I swear, it's torture. You have to protect these trucks that have got to be made out of cardboard or something, whilst a ton of enemies crash into them and get them stuck, destroy them, or destroy you. And on top of it, the last two trucks have no checkpoint in between, which means if you do one and fail the last one, which is actually quite hard, you're set back to the beginning of the two. These packs are seriously testing my patience and skill as a Saints Row player. But the difficulty aside, the mission is actually really fun. It's super intense, it doesn't have the bullshit factor, and you really have to focus, and for that reason, I think it's a blast. Once you complete the mission, it cuts to Dex catching a flight, where he subtly admits that he's running from the boss. This then cuts into the third and final of our missions in this pack. Griffon breaks the news to the boss that he's fled town, and the boss freaks out. He demands Griffon to show him all of Dex's associates so we can take them out since we can't get to Dex. Enter in possibly the most fun mission I've played in a Saints Row game in years. Griffon heads to a local lighthouse to point out the targets for us as we enter the Volition studio to take out the targets. A fucking UFO takes out the window. Yes, I'm not kidding, and this gives us a clear angle to take out the targets. Griffon then points out some targets to us and we start sniping them. The whole time Griffon is saying some hilarious lines. It cracks me up a bunch. And then we randomly get attacked by a bunch of mimes who launch a full-on attack at you. You're literally gunning down an army of mines that keep coming out of the same car. It's like a clown car and it's really funny. Having killed the army of mines coming towards you, we head to the roof and start taking out some more targets. Somehow the targets get more comedic as they go on, and I kid you not, one of the targets is a ninja that when you shoot it, it vanishes and does a surprise ninja attack on you, and it is one of the funniest things I've ever had happen to me in a Saints Row game. I mean, listen to the live reaction of this happening to me for the first time. There's someone there. Oh. Creeped around the corner, got shot. It was so golden, honestly. The mission had me laughing a whole bunch, and then we meet back up with Griffon, they talk between each other, and the boss hits us with a nice Red Faction reference, which I loved, and promises to hunt down Dex in another city. Wow, a great setup, a great execution, and this DLC pack is awesome. Too bad Volition gives us blue balls and never answers this plotline. I always knew about the cliffhanger ending of this DLC pack, as I'd seen some of the cutscenes before, but having played the pack, I now understand this frustration to a whole new level. It's actually painful. The fact this major villain in the series goes about justice is soul-crushing. And don't give me that, they solved it and got out of hell. That is not the ending we deserved. Blue balls aside, the missions were a lot of fun. More fun than the previous pack by far. This pack truly felt like the Saints Row 2 quality I'd wanted, and I'm honestly glad I finally got around to playing them. We get a few new outfits in this pack also. We get a barbarian outfit, a nurse outfit, an eye patch, a football mask, and a few other items around the various stores in the map. We get a few new vehicles too, which are pretty badass. I'll just show you some footage whilst I'm talking here, but they're all worth testing out, and there is a big variety of vehicles in the game once you have these DLC packs. They're actually quite cool for that. I also heard there's a bunch of multiplayer stuff that came with this DLC and the last one, but since I'm on Xenia, I'm not able to test that sort of stuff, so I guess it's time for me to give you a nice summary about this pack since there's not too much else to discuss. The missions themselves are awesome, and the story in this pack isn't too bad either. It's a shame it never really gets resolved, as it really did set up for a good future for the series. The cars introduced were unique and fast, whilst the clothing they introduced was also badass. I think overall, this pack is the most fun I've had in a Saints Row game in years, and I'd argue the last mission of the pack ended up being one of my favourite missions in the series due to how fun it is. Maybe I'm just overstating it due to how shallow modern Saints Row games are, but I really did feel this was the best quality Saints Row content I've played in so long. It's the type of quality we just haven't seen in years, and I loved every single part of it. I honestly recommend to anyone out there who's never played the Saints Row 2 DLCs, if you're going to play one of them, play this one. Preferably play both, but this one is really cool. It makes me sad to see where the series went after this, having played this now. I always knew the series kind of fell off after Saints Row 2, but I think that's pretty worldwide known at this point. But having played what came right before that drop-off, and seeing how Saints Row 3 handled it, it does honestly make me hate Saints Row 3 just that tad bit more. It's a fine game in its own ways, I suppose, but the fact it never built upon this plotline that was a really interesting plotline to build upon is terrible. Quite frankly, I don't think it's acceptable that they did not follow up on this, and still to this day, I think people would be happy if they finally resolved this plotline, because it's just gutting that it never got fixed. This DLC pack gave me the biggest blue balls I've ever had playing a Saints Row game before, and I hate that. But the DLC pack itself is awesome, and I recommend you all play it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy. Let me know what else you want me to test out. I may have a video coming up on the Saints Row money shot if I decide there's enough there for me to talk about. I know Godzilla and Flip have also made their own videos on that, but I thought it'd be an interesting one to take a look at myself. Anyways though, thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed the recent content. The support from you guys has been insane. I really appreciate all the feedback. You guys seem to really be enjoying 2024 AJTS, and so am I. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.